have figured out the synergism, how to work together. And if they work well together, things go well for you. Your body works well. Same thing with customer discovery. You're going to see there's lots of pieces. And if you put them all together well, you are going to feel good and you're going to have a great business and a great product. So, okay. So, first thing I want to do, and encourage you to do the same thing with your own pitch decks, is talk about why are we here, okay? First, what is discovery? So discovery really is just the effort to understand things, to explore, to gain knowledge, okay? Secondly, what is a customer? And this is an interesting item that a lot of people don't fully understand. One of the most simple elements of defining what a customer is they are the person that gives you money for your product. Now, there are users, there are influencers, but typically there is only one person that gives you money for your product. In a large corporation, you might be trying to sell something to an engineering group, okay? You get a purchase order from the purchasing department. Your customer, believe it or not, is the purchasing department. The engineering group, they are the users, they're the influencers, okay? They are important, they're critical, but your customer is the purchasing department. Third element to think about is, what is a product? Okay, again, a lot of people think that a product has to be a tangible item. You can feel it, you can touch it, it weighs something. It's got a fragrance to it. And a lot of people that I have counseled and say, well, geez, I'm providing a service. I don't have a product. That's not true. If you're delivering a good to a customer, you've got a product. Verizon Wireless, they've got a data product, they've got an internet product, they've got a voice product. So whether it's a tangible item or whether it's a service, they are all products and they all need to be treated in the same way. One of the most important things to think about when you think about your product is, why do people want to use your product? Okay. And the second element, and we're going to talk more about all this, is why does it make their life better? If you can answer those two elements, you're on a path to success. So customer discovery combines gaining knowledge about something. That something could be the marketplace, it could be your competitors, and also understanding your customer, okay? And one of the most critical things to think about when you undertake customer discovery is answering the question, what problem are you solving for your customer and or the market? Okay. And here again, this is why I think customer discovery is probably the most significant step in developing a business and developing a product, is answering that question of what problem are you solving for your customer? And the second consideration is, what value? Why is the customer going to feel good having selected your product? So these two pieces are the essential elements that you're going to think about when you're trying to do your customer discovery. Okay, what problem are you solving, or what void are you filling? And also, what is the value to the customer? Okay, does it make them feel good? Does it make their life better? Does it help their business succeed? Does it help their projects advance? Okay, this is part of the value that you are delivering to your customer. You can really kind of look at customer discovery and say that there are 5 stages to it. And I'm not going to read through every one of these, but the first one is important, is you're going to create a hypothesis. either a single one or multiples. And this is a college word, hypothesis, for a guess, okay? The second is you want to test that hypothesis, and you want to test it with people that may or may not be your target customer. You're going to learn a lot even from talking to people that you currently may not think are your customers. You may discover that they have an idea or an element that you didn't think about that could turn them into a customer, or they can give you some feedback as to how to make your product better for your customer. So you'd want to test the hypotheses. The most effective way of testing a hypothesis is to get out there and talk to people. I've got a lot of clients that talk about, well, I'm going to send out a survey, or I'm going to send an email out, or I'm going to tweet something. Your success rate there will be like the merchants of old when they used to send a paper coupon to your mailing address. They got a 1 or 2% success rate. If you're going to do it electronically, the potential for you having accuracy in the responses diminishes, as opposed to actually talking to somebody and seeing their body language, seeing how they react to your question. Are you picking up on a point that may not be part of your question, but could be part of your solution? So I really encourage you, talk to people. And it's not only your family and friends and your relatives, okay? Because they're going to be biased. Talk to people that you don't know and interview them about your hypothesis. And one of the most important things when you're trying to do that interview is don't drag it out. And also let the individual do the talking. You're there as a listener. You want them to tell you what they're thinking about relative to your product, relative to your idea, relative to your price point, relative to how you think you want to deliver it to the marketplace. Listen to your interviewees. Third, you can test product concepts. And here is the idea of, if you're going to say that you're going to create a new kind of paint and it's going to be multiple colors in one can, if you have an idea that the colors are going to be red and orange or yellow and blue, try out different combinations. Let the customer respond to you. Hear what they like about what you're thinking of. Hear what they don't like about what you're thinking of. Let them talk to you. This is what is going to help you think about, not only do you have a viable product to begin with, but it's going to give you feedback and ideas for your product roadmap, which is the way that you really want to think about sustaining your business. Every product goes stale today's day and age, probably 6 to 12 months. You've got to have a new version or an add-on or an advancement. Let the marketplace tell you what that should be, okay? And then you also want to analyze the feedback. What did people tell you, okay? Why did they act that way? Why did they smile when you said something? Why did they not respond? Think about why they answered the way that they did, and can you use that? The fifth step is start all over again. You want to continually have a customer discovery process for your business, because if you don't, your business will stop. I guarantee it. Let me give you an example of what I think is the world's best customer discovery. I'm presuming that some of you have Apple products, okay? Some of you probably have been to an Apple store or called the Apple help desk. That is all part of their customer discovery. They have customers coming in and asking for something, complaining about something, cheering about something, or saying that something isn't working right. Believe it or not, that information gets captured and it gets funneled back to many different groups within Apple at many different facilities that are sifting through it as part of their customer discovery. So that's just one example. So keep in mind that your customer discovery process is the best way for you to stay on top of what does your customer really want to solve their problem and will pay you money for. Additionally, they will tell you what has to happen for the next generation. And that's going to keep you ahead of others in the marketplace, thinking about how do you grow your business? How do you keep your business going? 5 phases. And again, your hypothesis can be something very, very simple, okay? Dogs only eat dog food. Well, as we all know, that's not a valid hypothesis. But you can learn from that and understand, what do they eat? Or what do some dogs eat that other dogs don't eat, okay? Some of my dogs love vegetables or fruits. Others just walk away from it, okay? Believe it or not, some of my dogs don't even like pizza. So you test your hypotheses, and your customer group will kind of indicate, where does your product fit in? What demographic? What need is it really fulfilling for what individuals? This is going to make your product development and business growth more sustainable. So I feel that there are about 4 different primary hypotheses that you build your business on, and they are the foundation. Again, if you don't have legitimate hypotheses that are validated, the foundation of your business is not real solid. It's like a foundation for a house that has cracks in it. It could lead to problems in the future. So when I think about the 4 areas or foundation elements in your business, there's the problem hypothesis, okay? What problem are you trying to solve? And I'm going to hammer you on that over and over again, because that's the only success avenue that you have, is solving a problem for your customers. Secondly, your solution hypothesis, okay? You know, it identifies the problem and the proposed solution for that problem, or how are you going to fill that void? Okay. Are you really trying to put a square peg in a round hole? Well, maybe you should round off that square peg and it'll slide easier into that round hole. The price hypothesis. This one you've got to be a little bit careful about, because early on, you don't want to test what you think the price should be. Again, remember, we talked about having your customers tell you what the price will be. But testing your hypothesis, never say, would you buy this for $1? Okay. Ask a range. Would you feel comfortable if this was priced somewhere between $1 and $3? Okay. Or, you know, ask them, can you give me your feeling of what a value level would be for this particular product or solution? Ask them and listen to them. And if they won't answer, that's a great follow-on for, hey, why won't you tell me? Can you really help me? I'd appreciate your thoughts on this. Then also, another foundation is your go-to-market hypothesis. Do you really think that you can sell your product directly to all consumers? What about resellers? And what are the types of resellers that they want? If you've got a beauty product that's targeted towards women, do you really think that a man's organization can effectively sell that product as well as a woman's organization or a distribution group? Test it. Ask people, would you buy this product from this type of individual or this type of distributor or this type of retail outlet? Okay, ask them. And if they tell you yes, and ask them why. Always follow up their answer with your own question, because you're really trying to expand. You want them to tell you more. Your customer discovery really leads to you validating your hypotheses, okay, of what it's going to take for your product to be adopted and move through your marketplace. It's going to help you confirm your market segments. Is your target really well suited for a particular age range or a particular demographic or a part of the country? Okay. Another thing that is really going to be helpful with your customer discovery is you can take feedback, things that people say to you, and use that in your marketing, use that in your messaging back into the marketplace. Let your customers tell you what they like about your product or how they would use it or where they think they would go find it. Okay. So the other thing that you also want out of your customer discovery or will really help you is if you're looking for some investment, having customer input and statistics that you can talk to investors about and declare that you have talked to X number of people about this product and this is what they are telling you. That's what investors want to hear. They don't want to hear only your opinion. They want to know what the marketplace thinks. So if you can quote back to them with statistics and data about your customer discovery, your interaction with investors is going to be much, much more positive. When you're gone through your customer discovery, one of the things I encourage all my clients to do is document it. Okay, write it down. Because in 3 months from now or 6 months from now, you're going to have forgotten a lot of pieces of it.
Hey, Steve, real quick, sorry to interrupt you, but can you close the pop-up box that says reopen and close PDFs? At a request to your right.
I actually have it here. I'll do this.
Okay.
Oh,
Here, it's because our thing was in front of it.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Thank you, John.
Better?
Yeah, thank you so much.
No worries.
Okay,
no worries.
thanks. Good catch. So we were talking about, your customer discovery, the information that you get from that covers a wide variety. One of the things you want to do is really capture that type of information. And a lot of you have some general ideas about the type of documentation you need to create, you want to create. And I'm just giving some examples here of typical documentation. Some of you have worked through this, some of you haven't. Now, one of the things that is not shown here, because a lot of people miss this type of documentation, and that is, that is a products requirement document, a PRD. And if you're in the room with me, I'd ask you to raise your hand. Who has written a PRD? Number two, who has read a PRD? Okay, this is probably one of the most important elements that you can have in your collection of documentation. The PRD describes what you're going to make or what your service is going to do, okay? And here again, it answers the two fundamental questions. What is the purpose of your product? And what problem does it solve? What value does it give your customers? Okay, you're going to capture that in your documentation. And the PRD is a living document. You just don't write it, being given your product activity, and you put it down and say, good, I've got a PRD. I've completed that. Check that off. No, a PRD is a living document because the more you talk to the marketplace, the more you talk to developers, the more you talk to resellers, they're going to give you feedback about your product. Okay, does this cost too much? Does it weigh too much? Does it have a funny color? You want to fold that back into your PRD because your PRD is going to be used throughout your organization, your engineering group, your finance group, your manufacturing group. This is going to be your Bible on what are you going to build? When does it have to be available? What does it have to do? And who are you going to sell it to? So the PRD is a critical document. More important than a lot of other documents, I believe, because this is one of the foundation elements for you to be able to talk about and to help people understand this is the business that you are in. The second most important document, or maybe the first most important document, is a first cousin of the PRD. It's a market requirements document. The MRD is at a higher level. The MRD talks about what are the requirements of the marketplace. Okay. The PRD talks about a specific product that addresses the requirements of the marketplace. As an example, the market wants a mechanism to get people from point A to point B reliably, comfortably, and it doesn't pollute the environment. That's the MRD, market requirement document. The PRD says it's going to be a car, it's going to be electric, it's going to have air conditioning, it's going to have a steering wheel. So the PRD describes the product that addresses the MRD, the market requirements. So an MRD is very important. And that is probably the first document you really want to think about. And it doesn't have to be elaborate, but it has to be well thought out, that you really talk about the needs of your customer, the problems you're solving, the different scenarios that they'll use it in. Okay. So when you think about the PRD and the MRD, they are two distinctly different documents. The MRD may not change as frequently as the PRD. The PRD should change constantly. So again, market requirement document, that gets you started. That sets the stage. This is what the market needs. This is why they're going to benefit from it. This is the description of who the customers might be. The PRD, the product requirement document, describes this is how you're going to go about providing the solution to the marketplace. So let's just talk about the PRD a little bit. And these are some general categories. And if you want to, take advantage of the free information that Google provides. If you search PRD, product requirement document, on Google, you'll get dozens and dozens of pages that give you all kinds of descriptions, all kinds of examples, all kinds of templates, all kinds of packages to buy that describe how to write a PRD. I'm giving you some examples here, okay? The one thing to think about in a PRD is think about the key pieces that you think are essential for your business and your product. You don't have to do all of them. Like I said, this is probably 1/10 of the number of headings you'll find in typical PRDs. But these are the examples of the types of things you want to fold into your PRD. And again, you can continue to add to it over time. One of the things that you always want to think about when you're thinking about developing your product, again, whether it's a tangible item like a hammer, or whether it's a service like tutoring, is what are the features and the benefits? Okay. And there's a big difference between features and benefits. Features get people's attention. People spend money on benefits. Let me give you an example. Okay. And there's one on the screen. You all have a smartphone. Your smartphone has a color LCD. Feature or benefit? Feature. Okay, it's not a benefit. What the benefit is, it allows you, the user, to have a very good visual video experience. If you only watched black and white movies and black and white videos, why do you need a color LCD? Why do you have to pay $300 extra for a color LCD? A black and white LCD is absolutely fine. The benefit for a color LCD is a much more enriching experience. So when you think about defining your products, a lot of people fall in the trap is you define the features. Okay. You're going to build a great toaster. Okay. And you're going to have all kinds of knobs and buttons on it. Well, those are features. What are the benefits? The benefits are that an individual can really create a piece of toast that's exactly how they want it on both sides or one side. Okay. Features and benefits. Think about that when you're putting your requirements together for your product. People are attracted to features. They will spend money on the benefits. What's not in a PRD? And this is where a lot of my very technical friends get, dragged down into the rabbit hole. A PRD is not a technical specification. That comes later from engineering, manufacturing, customer support. A PRD does not describe how you actually answer the requirement, how you fulfill that, okay? It simply says, this is what you do. So as I said here, the widget only plugs into a house outlet. It doesn't say that the widget runs on 120 volt AC at a certain level of amps. That's a technical specification. The PRD is a higher level that simply says the widget needs to plug into a house outlet, electrical outlet. So keep that in mind when you're writing your PRD. You don't need to be an engineer. You don't have to have an engineer to write it. As a matter of fact, you want to relegate to them to take your PRD and now come up with the technical specification as how would they provide the approach for fulfilling the PRD requirement. It's good to put a lot of examples into your PRD because you may think that your idea is simple and straightforward, but somebody that doesn't know you or hasn't really worked on it for a while could be confused, may not fully understand. So put in descriptions, put in pictures, okay? Give examples when you have a particular requirement. Give examples of why it's a requirement. That will help people to better understand and use your product requirement document. So when you think about putting your whole business together, your whole product plan together, do you have a missing strategy? Do you have a missing element? Unfortunately, I think a lot of people are missing the customer's discovery aspect. Asking questions of what does the marketplace want in the product? Where would they buy the product? Why would they buy the product? What do they think they would want in a different type of version of the product? So this is the workshop. Hopefully it provided you some good ideas, good stimulation, and good thoughts to things that you want to do for yourself, for your own product and your own business. So with that, I turn it back over to John and the others. Please ask questions, provide comments. You want to put it in the chat. Or as I said, I'm typically available on Wednesday afternoon. I think it's Wednesday afternoons. Yeah, Wednesday afternoons at the lab, or I do have an account on Rec Direct. You can get in touch with me that way. Or worst comes to worst, just contact Angela. She'll give you my email. All right.
Thank you, Steve, for this awesome presentation. I do have a question for you. At what stage should companies or student founders focus on customer discovery? And is this a one and done type process, or what would your feedback be on that?
Well, your customer discovery starts as soon as you get your idea. Okay. Sample people that you think are your target customers. Start there. So when you have your idea, whenever it comes to you, definitely talk to your friends, definitely talk to your family, get a general sense of are you on the right track or not. But definitely reach out to those that you don't know or don't know you and get their reaction. So it's not tainted by a bias because of your relationship. And then as you continue to evolve the product, as you continue to evolve how you're going to market it, what's your message going to be? How are you going to sell it? Go back to the marketplace and see if you're taking the right approach. Okay? Anybody else? Very good. I appreciate being here.
One more question.
Yeah.
Sorry. Have you heard, I think it was you who actually said this, that companies that fail to continue their customer discovery, they go to die.
Yeah,
Is that true? It's like a process.
absolutely.
Like,
Yeah, I'm a firm believer that, as I said in the one place in the slide, when your customer discovery stops, your business dies. Especially in today's age where product evolution happens so quickly. I mean, just use a smartphone as an example. Look at cars, okay? Cars change every single year. Same thing with a smartphone. Same thing with televisions. Technologies in them change, but also the general appearance, the interactions, the user interface, they all change. So you constantly want to be interacting and paying attention to the marketplace. And the best way to do it is talk to them.
Yeah. I like how you brought up the example of Apple. I don't know if people can hear me, but that all starts at the bottom level, from the lowest person interfacing with the customers all the way to the up. It's a flow of from the higher positions to
Yeah.
the lower, this constant communication
Yeah,
of that.
yeah. And
discovery.
even when a product is broken, that is customer discovery.
Mhm.
Not only what broke, maybe why did it break? Also, what did the customer do? Did they try to fix it themselves? And how long did they wait till they got help? That's all part of Apple understanding. Is that type of product failure significant enough that people immediately pick up the phone and call support? Or it's been 3 or 4 days and they just got around to bringing it in and says, oh, by the way. So that's all part of customer discovery, and it works so well for Apple and a lot of other companies that do something similarly.
And companies are able to pivot from that, right?
Oh,
From
yeah.
what they find out.
Yeah,
Or-
most definitely. So
Well,
very good.
any questions for us, John, and then from the audience?
We know we have a really good comment here from Chad saying that paying attention to your customers and keep evolving your business because the world is always changing, and that's really spot on. I think that's right to the point.
Yeah. And I'll give another suggestion to you folks. I'm always asked about good business books. And I'm going to recommend a book that's probably 30 years old. It's called In Search of Excellence. And it talks about different businesses, how they communicate and interact with their customers. And they're not high-tech businesses, okay? They're grocery stores, they're plumbers, okay? But In Search of Excellence by Tom Peters, very easy read, but it's a very revealing book about the importance of the business being close to its customers. Okay, very good. Thank you all for devoting the time. I'm glad you considered me as being part of your, own progress. Bye for now.
Thank you so much, Steve.
We really appreciate all that you do for the Rec Innovation Lab. You're one of our favorite mentors. Thank you so much, you guys. Also, Steve has done a few other workshops for us. So if you're interested, please check out his videos on our Rec YouTube channel. I know John put that in the chat for you. And thank you so much for joining us today. We really appreciate it. Have a great day. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody.